Actually, no. Actually, TikTok said that they did hear me, so joke's on me. No, you reckon? No, and that's okay. That's why I don't do. That's why I don't do my own sound. So, anyways, what's the hardest part of the trick? Making it work or making it funny? Yep. Could you just say non magic? Whoops. Yeah, yeah. Mate, I was already cancelled fucking 5 minutes ago when I didn't have the tech going properly, so. Yeah, yep. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. A family performer than sort of not like an adult show sort of thing. Was it hard for you or was it a bit easier? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, right. Well, here comes the stroking part. I actually thought you nailed it. So I thought the show was really good. Yeah, I thought the show was really good, and I thought you'd done an amazing job. So me,
Yeah,
I
you just
am.
turned as I was talking.
Yeah, so I was. I still didn't have your audio on for some reason, so it's all fixed now.
Do you want to start this interview again?
No, absolutely not, because because TikTok heard it. So
Oh, great. Well, that's good.
nah. You're
No,
3 hours ahead. You're 3 hours ahead of me, so it doesn't matter what you
yeah.
do.
When you become a dad, you just can't drink anymore. So this is Ribena because I'm a child.
Oh, Ribena.
Mm.
Okay, so speaking of your jokes and your comedy,
Mm.
do you write your own jokes, or what happens there? Do you have a trick and then you
Yeah,
sort of come up with a punchline, or what's that sort of?
yeah. I write my own jokes. So then when magicians come along and steal them, I know that they've stolen them from me.
That's
Um,
a good point. Yep.
yeah. So yeah, normally what I'll do is there's different ways of writing for me. So I write better when I'm on the road. So when I'm touring and the creative brain is going because you're doing gig after gig after gig, that's when I'll kind of come up with a concept of a trick or a concept of a show. If it's a show, I'll kind of what's the last show that you came to? What was that one at the Container
Uh,
Yard?
oh, that was in Sydney, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what was
what?
that one?
Oh, bloody hell! There's something theatre it was called. I wouldn't even be able to tell you where it was.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it was.
we were in a shipping container. Yep, that's right.
So okay, well, here's another show. So I got a show called Integrity, and that was about a year into my sobriety and like getting clean off drugs and stuff like that. So that was the forefront of my mind was being focused and keeping my own integrity of not relapsing. So I kind of took the word integrity because that's the word that got me through my rehab, and I said, let's tell the story of me becoming clean and going to AA and all these things, and use the tricks to tell the story. So
Yeah,
then, like I did like a fake psychic routine, which is just like it's a I think it's a Luke Jamay premise, but I scripted it in a way where I was actually talking to the dead and I'm taking the piss out of them.
yep.
And then I used like a Russian roulette routine with a credit card, but all these bits made sense to the story I was telling about sobriety. Um, so that was a bit different on writing. If I'm taking just one routine, I'll take, say, like, okay, I want to make this glass of orange juice disappear and come out of my ear or my headphone or something. I'll kind of brainstorm and write down everything that I think is funny with the glass.
Yep.
So, you got one guy, one jar. You've got liquid. Okay, water to wine. Jesus, he's not real. Well, some of you probably oh, if I got drunk, then I'd party. And then just one day, I think it was about 4.5 years ago now, my partner just said, pick me with a party, and I picked her. And then 4 months later, we got engaged, and then we got 2.5 kids.
That sounds like an amazing love story as well.
It's a good love story, and also a story of how I didn't pull out twice.
uh, so going through the rehab and stuff like that was it hard? Was it tough? I assume it was tough,
It
or
actually
because you
wasn't.
had
It actually wasn't.
had a purpose.
I had a purpose, and my purpose was her. Um, but it was, I think, probably the hardest part was breaking the habitual routine of socializing. So I noticed that all my socializing friends, people that will go have a beer with, will be the hardest part of it. And you just never see anyone because if you don't put yourself in those situations like a pub or a bar, then it's not going to be triggering. So it took me I think it was 2 years I was sober. Now I can successfully say I'm a controlled drinker, so I can have a pint here or there, or I can have a glass of wine with dinner. I'm just not the shots guy that I used to be for
Yeah.
good old, just as bad of a fuckwit. Hear you now.
I don't know what that is. Before that noise, and thanks Ruby for that too, by the way. Um, as I said, man, my hat's off to you. It's a massive big thing for that to happen, and
Mm.
like I said, I actually come to that shipping container show. It was weird. It was a cool it was a cool vibe, but to hear your story through jokes and through tricks and that it was awesome.
Yeah.
But you do amazing magic tricks. Though. You do. Like I know the comedy part and stuff, but they actually are incredible.
Yeah, I suppose like I'll try and change like what's the word? What does the magicians use? The easiest method. It really is. I'll try and find something that's so simple so then I can concentrate on the comedy. And if the method has to be foolproof, so then the punchlines, I'm not thinking about the method. I'm not thinking, oh shit, I need to push a button. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to think about the jokes,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
need to
of
think about
course.
someone heckling and my comeback to that heckle because I'll purposely try to get the audience to heckle at certain moments so I can do off the cuff comedy, you know. Um,
Speaking of heckling, what's your best one? What's the best one that you've ever got that someone's heckled you?
oh, I had someone recently. I had someone recently. There was a kid. Where was that? Somewhere in New Zealand, and this kid. I was doing this whole routine with him, and it was probably about 10 minutes long. And by like the 10th minute, he looked up at me and went, "Are we going to start the magic yet?"
Oh.
And And
Is that right, mate?
yeah, the thing is, I love my kids, but I hate everyone else's, and I could quite easily hit another kid.
Do you need to go to rehab for that?
Yeah, I think so. I need a meeting. I need
So
a meeting.
yeah,
It's in my genes. And I go, oh, and so I push forward, and she puts her hands down, and it was a couple, right? It was,
yeah,
a husband and wife, and they've both got their hands down my pants, and I yell for security because I'm actually like a little, as rock and roll as it may seem, I'm actually quite a little bit precious. So I'm like security, and I
excuse
see all
me.
the yeah, excuse me, I'm being manhandled, and I see the security at the back of the room, and they're all just taking photos and videos, laughing,
Oh yeah, it's a
and
joke.
I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, great, yeah, okay. Oh, we thought it was part of the show. No, no.
Wow.
Um,
Did
but
you
that
have to speak to him and say, like, what did you? What that would have been awkward.
that was awkward. I just grabbed them and I pushed them aside and I said, quickly count the cards out. And I just skipped past the routine. I was like, just
Yeah,
count them
right.
out and finish the trick. Get the hell off the
Yeah,
stage.
get off the. Give me my pubic hair back, please.
Yeah, like audience control is such a topic that, there should be more lectures on controlling an audience.
Yeah, but once you miss out, once you mix alcohol and stuff like, people get crazy. People get
Totally.
crazy. People
Yeah,
get
they,
crazy.
they do get crazy. And, like comedy clubs, that's where they're the craziest. They always say that the worst the worst audiences in a comedy club are bridal parties and stag do's. And it's true, here's a gig the other night. I showed up, it's up north in the middle of nowhere. And I showed up to the guy, I showed up to the venue, sorry, and apparently he had sold 22 tickets, right? It's a pub, it's a Friday night in the middle of nowhere. And I went, okay, no worries. I checked the mic, everything worked. I start the show off with, look, you, the big table that are talking, do we mind just respecting everyone else down here have paid?
Yeah, paid.
If you want to chat, just go outside. The show's only another 40 minutes.
Yeah,
If you want to drink, just wait to the end. It's literally, you're not, it's not a disco,
yeah. It's
right?
40 minutes of your life that you can make
Um,
sense. So do
yeah,
you do you prefer to do smaller crowds or bigger crowds, or it doesn't matter?
it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the people that are sitting there in front of you have invested their time to watch.
To cruise ship,
Yeah.
is it a good life or not? As a
It's
performer?
it's a good life if you're single and career focused.
Yeah,
That's probably the best way to put it.
yeah, that makes
If
sense.
you haven't got dependents and you haven't got a family back home, it's a really good life. Like you could just jump ship to ship to ship, making good money. There's a lot of entertainers on the ship that are terrible entertainers, but they're getting really good money. Um, there was a whole thing where people used to say cruise ship entertainers are where entertainers go to die. Right, that's stupid. Asian, you've got every single nationality, so you have to learn to adapt to all these different countries. And I think that there's a trick to that. And a lot of entertainers go in there and they're horrendous, but they get the bookings because they're nice people.
Yeah,
And there's some really good entertainers that are still working the shits because it's good money. Like
yeah,
is it John Armstrong? Man, he works Disney. Chris Cox, the
yeah.
Mentalist. These are all buddies of mine that they work the shits because it's good money
Because it's
and
good money, of course. Yeah,
it's a good money and it's a nice theater. And I count my blessings. Like this is the only time in my life I haven't enjoyed doing cruises, and I've done them 10 years. It's only because I've got a family at home, so I'm missing things back
you're
there.
always missing home. Yeah,
Always missing home. You only do 2 shows a week, and then you're sitting in a cabin, and you say you're going to go to the gym, and you never do. You say you're going to make podcasts or you're going to write new routines. You never do because you're not motivated because you're lonely. Um, so there's downsides to it too. But if you go in with a goal, it can be a very nice career. Yeah, and
I
I can't twice now. I've had magicians in the audience on a ship that have purposely come up on stage and tried to ruin my trick.
no, I
And then
would.
I found, yeah, and I found out afterwards that they went, oh, I'm actually a magician. I went, oh, right. He's like, yeah, that's why I called out what move you were doing. I went, well, that's supportive. Yeah, I found that one. It was nice.
um, in your line of career, comedy, etc., etc. Uh, is there a joke that you won't do? like, is there a line for you that you won't cross? Or and obviously now because people, I will say it, people are starting to get a little bit more precious.
Hmm.
What where's the line? Is there a line for Jared Fell or not?
No, there's not a line. Like there's magicians are gonna hate me probably with what I'm gonna say. I have the same mentality of what every comedian should have, which unfortunately they don't. Um, but the ones that will last have the same thoughts, I think, which is comedy will always prevail. So no matter how woke or how weird the universe, or sorry, the world becomes when it comes to sensitivity with what you can and can't say, um, comedy is always subjective. So I think if you go with the mindset of as long as the audience know you're joking, you can say absolutely anything. And as long as you're not trying to cause harm or be malicious on purpose, you can say anything. And it's the same with magic. I think, especially with comedy magic, a lot of magicians will say, no, you can't call a little boy anymore, or you can't say a little girl anymore because you don't know their pronouns. Shut up. Um, the people that say that are the problem. You know what I
Course,
mean?
course,
Um,
yep.
so no, I did have this one concept though, which I thought would be quite funny. Um, yeah, but it's probably I don't want to get cancelled. I put it on a share, but pretty much I wanted it to appear a girl, um, and then turn her into a boy, and then turn it back into a girl, and then have a pronoun joke, right?
Yep.
Because I thought it was topical, and I thought if the concept of it is very funny.
Ta-da!
But do you think I would put that on stage? Probably not.
Nah.
But I think it's funny. Um,
I can
Monty Python.
I can see it working though.
I see it working in my show. There was there was one joke I did years ago, which was funny, and I was talking about naggy partners or something like that, and I had a stooge in the audience, so I set up an actress in the audience who purposely loudly told off her boyfriend for something, like getting her the wrong drink. And I said, "Actually, can you guys keep it down?" And she was like, "No, well, you know." And we had this big back and forth thing, so it created an awkward feeling in the room. And I said, "Well, come up. Do you want to help out with the trick?" She goes, "Yes, I do." I'm like, "All right." So she comes up on stage, and I showed her this box, a crystal box, right? And I said, "All right, get in the box." She goes, "What?" I said, "No, I want you to go in the box and just check there's no trapdoors." And of course, she goes into the box, and the audience is like, "What the hell is he doing? This is so random. Why is a random girl getting into a box?" And then I shut the box, and I lock it, and I pull the curtain over the box, and I turned to the partner and went, "Do you want a night off?" She's a bit yappy, isn't she? Yeah. Check out check out this trick, right? This is called Girl to Tiger. And then I whip off the cloth, and the girl's gone, but there's a tiger beer, right? So like a tiger beer bottle. And I go, "There you go, mate. Have a beer on me," right? And so I give him the tiger beer. I never brought the girl back.
Yep.
Because that was funny for me. Was a magician always makes a girl disappear, then reappear in a magical
Reappear.
way. So why not make a girl disappear and then not bring her back? Because the joke is after the show, everyone's going to be wondering where that bloody
Where
girl
that
went.
girl is, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I just remembered that we did that years ago.
That would have been cool to watch. That would have been awesome. That would be funny too.
I
I,
think we filmed it.
I find
Yeah,
that
we
funny.
had. Yeah, we did a big piss take of David Copperfield, and my mate, who's actually watching right now, Jareth, who used to stage manage all my shows, he came out in bloody white underpants, holding cloud cutouts and mocking David. It was so funny. He used to be so more fun and creative.
I
And
think
now
you
he's a
did
tired
didn't
old
you?
man.
You done vagina mo too, didn't you?
Vagina Mo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
that's a thing. Well, he wants to be called his real name now, which is Jared Fowl, just like Stephen Frame.
I love that. Okay, so I've got two more questions, and then I can let you go to be a dad.
Thank God.
I know, I know. Two questions. If you could perform a trick for your younger self, what would it be?
Um, Perform a magic trick
I
today.
don't. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like your mind just went really dirty then.
It went really dirty, and it was going to be something like castrate myself or something. Um, 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 you know what? The first trick I ever saw was a guy that floated a dollar bill. I would like to see that again. I want that moment. Yeah, I want to do that to myself.
That sense of wonder.
Yeah, I thought of a funny joke actually to the start of a show if we talk about funny routines. Is I was going to give this to Adam Dean, and I gave it to him because he wanted a funny opener,
Yep.
and I said, "How about this?" And I wrote him this whole routine. He's like, "Yeah, that sounds great," but then he didn't do it, and I think someone should do it. As the beautiful music's playing, curtains open, and there's a magician standing in the middle of the stage, and maybe he's doing the floating rose or something. I don't know, something's floating, and then like a DJ scratch happens over the music and goes, "Arr," and the magician just pulls out some scissors and chops the string, and it falls on the ground, and that's it. So it's just, I think it's so funny. It's
That
such a
would
good
that
joke.
would that would that would be funny.
Yeah,
You should do it.
I should do it. I should do
Yeah.
that.
Don't worry about Adam Dean. You should do
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, no one do that. I'm gonna bring that
it.
out of my
I'll
notebook and do it.
when I put this on video back on, I'll edit that bit out for you. And Jared, I have one more question.
Go.
If people are going to go and try and get into magic and comedy and stuff, what advice would you?
I don't. We don't need competition. Go into law. Go into law. Go be a door-to-door salesman because we need those.
Been to East Theatre?
No, I've never been. Never been. I
Yeah,
heard good things.
yeah. It's if you get a chance, you should go and have a look.
Yeah, yeah. I will. I've heard great things about that. Jeff Hobson has an amazing place as well that he's opened up with Marvin's.
Where's Jeff based? Is he? He's
He's
in. He's in Queensland.
is it? No, it's Palm Springs. Jeff Hobson. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Because he
Yeah.
he was just in Queensland doing a lecture.
He was in a Cirque show.
Yeah.
Cirque Alice. Yeah. Which I heard phenomenal things. Look really cool.
Yeah, right.
I think that's
Well,
the same place that we did Metaverse, wasn't it?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Cute.
Oh,
No,
memory
you
lane.
don't even need to buy it. You don't even need to buy it.
I think that's Chinese magic, isn't it? See,
China 52.
yeah, that's it. That's it. Well, Jared, I just want to say, mate, thank you very much for joining me. I am so.
Thank you. Yeah. Just had a little fry wank. Probably
Yeah.
too far with that one. But
Yeah.
you just give me an idea for a show. It's just called Failure, and it's just you do no magic.
You just stand there.
Yeah, just stand there with this ball under a cup.
Yeah, to them girls that wouldn't shut up when you went to that pub.
Oh my God.
Bring
Yeah.
them in.
Yeah, those people need to drink and drive. Yeah.
Okay.
Catch up soon, man. Take care of yourself and go do a course on how to do a Zoom call.
I've already booked 5.
All right, buddy.
See you, bro.
Take care. Bye bye.